lot easier. Oh, and I'm trying to break my car. So today's video is going to be about using cheap parts and headlights and why you shouldn't. So when I did these headlights, I did them more for content, so I got cheap parts and rebuilt them. And I can show you why exactly it's not a good idea, and also why I prototyped it before I ever try and build. So looking at this side, the side looks perfectly fine, except for one of the LEDs died, so I'm not even in frame. So one of the LEDs died in this one, and the same with this one, and it's not like they just died and turned off. That probably would have been better, but they died partially so they only show certain colors, and that's in the L's themselves. Then for the demon eyes, which aren't actually bad, this one got unplugged. That's not really a cheap part issue. I mean, it was a cheap plug, but like right now it'll show teal, but it doesn't show red. So as you can see in this demon eye, it's red. It's not the brightest red, but it's red. And then you go to this side, and there's nothing. That's just because it can't show red, and that's purely just because the red is unplugged, it's not plugged in right, and it's got an issue. And then you can see here, you can look at these, majority of them are perfectly white, but you can see the plastic melted up here, which isn't necessarily cheap parts fault. That was just me testing a new lighting source with these. Obviously it got too hot and it just melted it onto the LEDs. And then over here you can see the dead LED that's making yellow, which isn't that bad. Then we go to the other side when we're trying to make white, and then I've got two right here that are making red. All in all, it is a lot cheaper this way, because I think I would have had to get a few strips that would have costed me a fortune. Probably this rebuild probably would have gone up to like $500 worth of stuff, instead of just doing like, I think it was really cheap and was free almost because I had all the stuff already. But this stuff's definitely a lot cheaper. I think it was like $20 worth of LEDs for the bottom and for the demon eyes that did it all. In reality, I probably should have gotten more expensive Profile Prism strips, which I will link down below because those are better, and I'm probably going to rebuild with those later on. I'm going to try and spec it out and design it how I need to, and then I'll know exactly what I'll need for the whole light, and I'll put real demon eyes in, because I'm not sure if real demon eyes are brighter. Right now, for the fog lights, when I do a demon eye, I just put in a waterproof XK glow unit. So you can see like that, and it's brighter. And I know that one's foggy, so we'll go to this side. But they are brighter. So I think I'll also go for Profile again for the demon eyes, just to play around with more expensive stuff that I haven't really tried yet. Because as you guys can see, this stuff is just cheap. It's just basic stuff. It's just LED strips. And if I wasn't looking at them directly, it probably would have still showed up white, but since I'm looking at them directly, it's just kind of meh. That, and also the fact that it's just melting in there, which is not good. Now, for the fog lights, I actually used quality parts for the most part. These strips are high quality and waterproof, so that's fine. And then same with these halos, they're high quality. Well, kind of high quality. They're decent quality, they're high enough quality to be waterproof, but they're not like insane quality. And then these strips are probably the best I can find, which are the flowing strips, which seem to be built better. I would prefer just a regular strip, but the regular strips aren't built as nicely as the flowing ones are. It's just how they are. And obviously you can see I broke the seal on this one from that. So I might rebuild these soon and permaseal them because they don't really need anything added. And then I'm going to rebuild these, and I think reseal these with butyl just in case something goes wrong. Because if I permaseal these, it's not that big of a loss, because I would just throw them out and rebuild a new set just because it's cheap. But the headlights would be way too expensive, so I definitely want to take them apart and redo them, so I'll do butyl with those. They are still decent, definitely for the price, because like I said, it's $20 a strip, so I'm just going to look up the Profile Prism strips just so you guys know. They're not cheap. Yeah, so just so you guys know the price difference, the Profile Prism strips from the retrofit source, which I think is slightly more expensive anyway, are $100 for an 18-inch strip, which would probably make it along the bottom of here, and that's it. So what I plan to do is I plan to do a large strip going across here, and then maybe smaller strips going up, and like some kind of design I'll make just because they're really bright. That, or just fit it in so it's really far back and then just do two sections or something like that. I'm not too sure. And then I'll go for the Profile Prism Demon Eyes, which I think are $45 for a set, which is good. Because that's actually decent price, because I know some of the companies are like $120 for a set of demon eyes, and they're actually $45. and they're the best company out there. So that's just what you guys can expect from the future of the lighting in this car. And also now I'm probably going to be able to respond to you guys faster, because before I didn't like using my phone too much, because if you look at it, it was really, really shattered. So this one's going to be gone, and now I got myself a nice new clean screen on a newer phone. You just respond easier. Oh, and I'm trying to break my car. So I can just respond easier to you guys, and also so that I'm not having a bunch of eye strain that hurts really bad and gives me really bad headaches anymore. Also, I kind of want to film because apparently this camera's a lot better. Just by taking a couple of pictures, I've realized that. So I'm probably going to try and film the video with this phone and see how well it turns out. It might even turn out better than the current camera I'm using. Peace out, and be legendary.
Stop till we're legends.